In 1964, the Alabama Crimson Tide were crowned college football's national champions, due largely to the dynamic playmaking of their quarterback, Joe Namath.
Watch number 12. That's Joe Namath.
With the NFL and AFL competing for college football's best talent, Joe Namath's market value began to skyrocket.
And in most cases, in those days, players did not have somebody representing them.
I mean, they would go to meet with teams, and they would just pretty much take what the team put on the table.
I don't know how much we bargained or not. This is their offer, and this is what all the other guys are getting, and we all made about the same thing, except for Namath, and that was an unusual case.
Namath was sitting on a golden ticket, and his contract negotiations would help create a new business entity, the sports agent.
Agents, we didn't even use that name at the time, agents. Didn't know what, that name became popular after.
So in a way, you could say the rise of the agent was, if not predicated, at least accelerated by the war between the leagues, because it created a natural situation in which you would want to have an advocate making the best deal between the competing offers.
I get a phone call from Joe Namath. Hey, there's some people want to talk to me about my football contract. I want you to help me.
Yeah, the Mike Byte was a friend of Joe. He's also a graduate of the University of Alabama.
Well, he was really the only lawyer that I knew.
A lot of people would think, oh, he was so naive, he only thing knew about real estate, that he didn't know what the going market was for football. The hell I didn't.
Negotiations with Jets owner Sonny Werblin opened at $300,000, but that was just the beginning.
And I said, Joe, this thing's getting interesting. He said, wait a minute, what about my mama, my brother, and my sister? I want them to get some money. I said, holy cow, it's like blowing into a balloon, and the next breath could blow this thing wide open. But remember, he was getting ready at this time to play in the Orange Bowl.
The city of Miami emphasizes gateway to the Americas and home of the Orange Bowl.
The 1965 Orange Bowl was a spectacle of pageantry and extravagance.
Parade Marshal Jackie Gleason, ready to roll.
The star-studded event captivated the nation, and Joe Namath's final college game had become must-see TV.
It was the first time the Orange Bowl was televised at night in living color.
An injury earlier in the week prevented Namath from starting the game, but after Alabama fell behind 14-0, the man everyone came to see took the field.
And Coach Bryant looks over and calls Namath to stand up. And he puts that big paw on him and ushers him out on that damn field. That damn stadium went berserk.
Alabama's sensational Joe Namath, now at quarterback with a tie. He connects to Perkins for 25 yards.
And I looked at Mr. Werman and I said, franchise.
Namath was named the Orange Bowl's MVP, despite playing just over half the game.
With someone as charismatic as Joe Namath, you can't take your eyes off of him on the field. That's just the way it goes. The way you couldn't keep your eyes off Michael Jordan, they'd become fan favorites because there's something about the figure on the field, how he carries himself.
The greatest passer in college football. Fires again, and it's good to Perkins for 18.
A record 25 million viewers had tuned in to watch Joe Namath play in the Orange Bowl, 20 million more than the year before. Sonny Werblin and the Jets signed Namath the next day.
We did not cheat. We played it by the book. That contract was signed on national television. He hadn't received a penny prior to that time.
To my knowledge, it's the largest amount ever given to an athlete for professional services. And let me say we're very happy to do it.
And by the end of the negotiation, Joe has I believe, a Kelly Green Lincoln Continental.
White top convertible, yeah, a green bottom. It was bad. Boy, it was a sweet car.
He's got a job for 3 people on the Jets' payroll.
Yeah, we signed, my brother Bob and myself, we signed on as a scout with the Jets. And of course, they didn't pay any attention to my scouting.
The commission that Mike Byte is getting is paid by the Jets, so it doesn't come out of Joe's money. And the ultimate value of the contract is $427,000, which at that time was believed to be the largest contract in the history of professional team sports.
The salary of Joe Namath got them the impetus to become on a par with the Giants, even before he stepped on a football field. My God, if the guy is worth $427,000, this is something we've got to see.
At a time when football's best players were making $20,000 a year, Namath signed a 3-year contract that paid him $75,000 a season, plus a $200,000 signing bonus.
Joe Namath, the world's richest rookie.
It was a huge investment, but Sonny Werblin and the AFL had bested the NFL by acquiring the top prospect of the 1965 draft.
The press and some of the players in the NFL made a bigger fuss about it than anybody else, you know. It was outrageous sum of money.
Well, I doubt if anybody's worth $400,000 right out of college.
Frank Ryan had just led the Browns to the title, and he said, if Namath is worth $400,000, I'm worth $1 million.
That's when the whole business of pro football became the true business of pro football.
You know, that's the equation. Money equals stardom, as long as you can justify it.
Namath didn't just justify his contract, he went on to guarantee it. And within 4 years, delivered the Jets an historic Super Bowl win that validated the merger of the AFL with the NFL.
The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions. They have upset the Baltimore Colts and beat them handily here today.
Namath was worth more than $427,000, not just for what he did on the field, but for what he brought to the AFL.
Namath's name is magic, especially in New York, where record numbers are turning out hoping to see the former Alabama star.
But I wasn't going to be bound by your rules. I was bringing a different product. I wasn't bringing a jock. I was bringing a star. Could give you a different market. Women.
You saw women. It wasn't just men at a football game.
He changed the game, changed the profession, changed the league.
If you had asked us in 1962 what business we were in, we would have said, we're football business. If you look at the marketing plan of the National Football League today, it's the entertainment business. And that was the moment it changed. And Sonny decided to make a star.